What do you regard as one of the most important parts of Africa? In my mind, it is the children of Africa. The ministry amongst our children is of utmost importance. And if I remember correctly, our first property we ever owned in YWAM in Africa was actually a preschool that still exists today and is doing a wonderful job in Hammanskraal in South Africa. But over and above that, we know that the population of the world is growing younger and younger according to statistics. And in Africa, it's not different. You can go to the bush, you can go to cities, you can go to little villages. You will always be amazed with the amount of kids that are around. It's also true that it seems like budgets are less and less available for anyone to actually get a good education. And we know part of the millennial goals was to actually increase the education of children and even that of women as well. When I think of the children in Africa, I realize that God has called us right throughout Africa to be involved in education. There is not a country where YWAM is working where we are not involved in children's ministry, and even more so in more professional education in schools, in preschools, and even some places in the universities. I'm thinking, for instance, of Nigeria, where we recently had 500 delegates together, I was told, that came together with Mark Brockenshire, and as the Global Accreditation Association looked at the involvement of parents, looked at the involvement of children and facilities, etc., etc., they are now involved in hundreds of schools to actually make sure that education comes to children. What I want to focus on, though, is on Mozambique. And we all know Mozambique has come out of one of the worst wars that we've had in Africa, one of the longest. We have on the eastern side of Mozambique a work amongst the Sena people that is way out in the delta of the Zambezi. And we have an ex-YWAMer that God's brought back to us, and she has come up with many other people with the concept of classroom in a box. And with a little box filled with all the equipment, with all the materials you need to actually run a class somewhere in the bush. And I was so amazed when I looked at this as it is being developed at the moment, as we partner with them, as we partner with other people. My husband is a pilot, John Herbert, used to work in Botswana, and together they are bringing this to Africa, and our local people are working with them in that. I believe it was John Wesley that said, children are whole people, whereas adults are half people, because half their lives are gone as well. And I want to speak especially to leaders and to base leaders and to national directors. Are we really taking care of the children? Jesus was the one that actually put children and women back in the importance of the community. And I believe we should do the same and speak on their behalf, because they are most of the voiceless people that we have in the continent. May God bless you, as so many of us are involved in this wonderful ministry.